Hello and welcome to another video, and there has been another Sony State of Play. This is the State of Play for fall of 2025. They had, just to kind of recap, the previous one they had, which I believe was in May, was, I'd argue, their best showcase that they've had this entire console generation. And this was overall a decent follow-up. Couple things here that look really, really good. A pretty big, like, expected at this point, but a pretty big banner at the end of the showcase. And I'll go through it and kind of pull through like what I thought were kind of the big highlights of it. There is obviously some fluff and stuff. There always is with these showcases, but overall this was a very solid Sony showcase. So obviously they started this was the one thing that was known at the beginning. We knew that they were going to be showing more of Saros or Saros. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This is the follow-up to Returnal, and it sure looks like more Returnal, with maybe a lot more going on in the world and the environment. They're promising a much more like personal story with this game. Returnal is a game I definitely should go back to. I did enjoy the time with it that I did spend with that game, and I think it's very good. And this looks pretty tremendous too, to be honest. I'm a very big fan of the roguelike. I'm a very big fan also of like taking a roguelike and making a big budget version of one. That was one of the highlights for me in Returnal, and this game looks tremendous. And I also like that the developer House Marquee has kind of gone from being like, I wouldn't say like a second-rate developer or anything like that, but somebody who's always focused on more independent titles and smaller titles, and they're now one of the bigger studios for Sony. Like I said, this game looks really good, and I'm very excited to try it. It is out March 20th, 2026, so it's an earlier 2026 game, but this looks good, and I'm excited to play it. It's one of the games where I kind of hope that they put out a demo before the game comes out, because I think it would benefit a lot of people to try this type of game. But I was a fan of what I saw here, and I look forward to checking this one out. They did a brief, and some of this stuff's going to be out of order depending on the article that I'm looking at, but they did a brief look at the campaign for Battlefield 6. I don't know, man. Like, I played the beta for Battlefield 6. I thought it was okay, but I'm really just not a competitive multiplayer person anymore, so that aspect of it doesn't really draw me in. And I don't think, like, for me, outside of like maybe the Bad Company games, I don't think the mainline Battlefield games have ever had stellar single player campaigns. They're always been known for multiplayer, and that was one thing that the Bad Company franchise, which I really wish they'd bring back, really excels at. This looks just like generic military shooter as far as the campaign of it goes. So maybe I'll check out Battlefield. I haven't decided yet, but that's out October 10th. This one leaked before the show, but Neo 3 is given an official release date of February 6th. I'll say I'm surprised that Neo is as popular as it is, because it is a Souls-like. I don't know. I tried to play the first one. I could not get into it. Never played any of the other ones. No discredit to that. Everybody has like their own Souls-like that I think they like, and this is just not one for me. But it's out February 6th. The people that created it, I knew right away when they showed this trailer that it had to be related to Disco Elysium. But the developers of Disco Elysium have a new game that's coming out called Zero Parades. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Half of this direct I watched with the sound off, to be fair. So I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this game looks fine. It reminded me that Disco Elysium is a game that I should check out. I'd be very interested to see more of this game. It's out sometime in 2026. A lot of stuff here out sometime in 2026. We got our Microsoft logo and the confirmation of the next Microsoft exclusive that is coming over the fence. That would be Microsoft Flight Simulator. That was also kind of a known thing going into this showcase. Deus Ex Remastered is coming out February 5th of next year. There's a lot of things that were shown at the showcase. This is like one of my few complaints, where it's like, okay, this game comes out on the 20th, but then this game comes out on the 19th of this month. And I already feel like by watching this direct that we're bunching too many releases up. And I think that's problematic. And I think that's going to continue to be problematic for people. I mean, people are obviously, they're going to, you know, fans and stuff, they're going to pick and choose when they want to buy something, when they want to play something, but a lot of these things don't need to share the same release date. An example of that is obviously Saros comes out March 20th, but then they announced the same showcase that Crimson Desert, a game that I'm really looking forward to, probably would be my highlight of this showcase for me personally, is March 19th. So, like, you know, that already, I look at it and go, well, of these two games, I know the one I would want to play right away, and that's Crimson Desert. I showed a trailer for Code Vein 2. Another reminder, I should probably go back to Code Vein 1. I dabbled in it a little bit, but I never finished it. This is out January 30th. There was some other stuff sprinkled within. There's an update coming to Gran Turismo. There were a couple indie titles. They talked about some stuff that's coming out really soon, including Final Fantasy Tactics, Sonic Crossworlds, which, you know, pretty much is out tomorrow at the time of this recording. They did a quick update on the PlayStation Plus game catalog for the people that have like the premium version of that, including they're going to be putting Alan Wake 2 on there, which is cool. If you haven't played that, highly recommend it. They also had to, you know, stick the nail in there that the Last of Us Part 2 remastered version will be hitting the service, which tells me like that I believe that came out earlier this year. It didn't sell well because people are tired of rebuying. People are tired of rebuying certain games, and they're very much retired of rebuying The Last of Us Part 2 if they're a fan of it. And unfortunately, most people I know are not fans of The Last of Us Part 2. So obviously my opinions on that game are well known on this channel. The big thing, I'd say the largest thing here, which was the way they ended this showcase, easily the biggest thing. It was kind of known that this was probably going to be here, and it's been known for a while. People have been pushing for this to see it. It's a game that unfortunately had a very bad leak. Maybe I want to say it was 2 years ago this December, but that is Marvel's Wolverine. So we do have the confirmation this is a heavily M-rated game. It looks like it has all the dismemberment and the violence that you would expect, which reminds me of the 2009 360 game that was based on a really shitty movie, but was honestly a pretty good game. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy at the casting for Wolverine, this Liam McIntyre person who I'm not familiar with the actor, but I'm happy that we're picking an actor that fits the role, and it's not just Hugh Jackman. I don't think Hugh Jackman would ever sit down and do this, to be fair, but I'm happy with this direction because somebody else can take this, and I assume this game will be massively successful, and they'll probably want to do a sequel. But watching the trailer for this, watching the footage that they showed, it just was a good sigh of relief for me. Like, okay, it is the Spider-Man team making this game, but they're not just making a Wolverine game that is just Spider-Man adjacent. It looks like they're really taking the time and the care with this game to make it its own thing, and I appreciate that. So very, very exciting. Confirmation that it's a fall 2026 game. That really honestly doesn't surprise me. But what they showed here looks really good, looks very promising. My one and only complaint is they show a couple of the villains that are going to be in the game. And they're all, to be fair, they're all shown very briefly, but what is going on with Mystique? She does not look good. Like visual, like just from like an artistic standpoint, I don't know what they did to that character, but she's not looking good in this game. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. It was my one and only gripe with the Wolverine game. Everything else I thought looked tremendous. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up. For me, I think it was a strong B+. Like I said, the thing that really clutched it for me, got me excited, was Crimson Desert. It's a game I've been looking at for a very, very long time. I think it just looks like a great RPG, and I really look forward to diving into that in March. I also think Saros, I don't think people should sleep on that. If you like roguelike games like that, I think that you should definitely check out Returnal. And I really enjoyed Returnal. I should go back to it. I should really go back to Returnal. I really enjoy that game, but I don't think people should sleep on Saros. I think it looks really good. And then obviously Wolverine, kind of really clutched it. So the only other thing I'll say here is there's a couple other like odds and ends announcements here. They had those wireless speakers they showed, and then like a God of War 20th anniversary DualSense controller. The speakers are like kind of cool, but the thing that's weird about that to me is I think most people that care about having like elevated sound with their TV are gonna already have a sound bar or some sort of sound system. Like, I mean, for myself, like I have a Dolby Atmos sound bar set up that has 2 rear speakers. So like this thing doesn't really do anything for me. I do think there's a market for it. And I've been wrong in the past. Like I didn't think that the PlayStation Portal was going to light the world up. And, you know, surprisingly, that thing's been very successful for what it is. So I probably can, you know, be wrong on this one too. But just for me, like I looked at it and said, that's a really cool idea. I already have a sound bar on the main TV I game on. I already have a sound bar on this TV behind me here. I'm already set on, you know, like elevated sound, but I get it. So, and I don't need another controller right now. And I'm not the world's biggest God of War fan. So not something I'm interested in, but overall, like even putting that aside, I mean, obviously they showed a couple indies here and stuff, but I think it was a very good secondary strong showing for Sony this year. I don't think it's as strong as their May showcase that they had, but I do think it was a strong way to end. I don't think they're going to have any other showcases this year. So for me, it was a B+. So I'd be curious to know in the comments below, what do you think about the showcase? Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.